Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 129 of your Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf, back in the car today. So, in the last episode, 128, Building a Business by Being Normal, of course, we mean by being your normal, whatever that is, because normal is ridiculous, right? We know that there is no normal. And so today what we're going to talk about is it sort of came out of last night's podcast and an issue with the website. So those don't sound like they'd be connected at all. Correct? However, you know me, I can't look at anything and take it at face value. I have to see how it fits somewhere else. So what's happening in this particular website is there's some code, there's a gremlin, there's a something. I've become a ghost code buster because I can see the code. It has changed the format on some blog posts. No one knows where it came from or why it's only showing up in some of the posts and not others. And I can see it, and I don't know where to find it. I will figure that part out. But it's just everything in this website. When you put in a plugin and take one out, you think everything is gone from that plugin. But a lot of times there's little bits and pieces left behind. And you don't know that until something stops working. So this website had one of the main homepage buttons all of a sudden turned its text brown. It was white, so I had to go back in, and fortunately I was able to reset that pretty easily. But why did it have to be reset in the first place? Ghost Code Buster. Don't know. Need to call them. Who are you going to call, right? Who are you going to call? Who am I going to call? There's nobody to call. It's me. Okay. So a few weeks ago, the hover color randomly turned itself like target red. Bright red. There's no bright red anywhere that should have showed up there. And we got that fixed. And it's still randomly showing up. How does this relate to the things we mostly talk about? Is because that happens to us. We have rogue code, and we don't know it's there until the things we try to do don't work. They blow up in our face. We're heading one direction. All of a sudden, you end up taking a U-turn or a sharp left. You fall off a cliff. Something goes really well, but then it suddenly goes really badly. We have rogue code in our own programming, right? We don't know it's there until something goes wrong and we can see it. Or something goes really right and we can see it, right? This is happiness threshold stuff. Things are going really, really good and we're really, really not used to that. So we air quote sabotage it, which if you're new to the podcast, I have a very strong opposition to the word self-sabotage. So I will just remind us in this moment that we do not self-sabotage ourselves. We try to stay safe. We undercut things. We deviate from the plan. We make sure that we stay in our familiar bad feeling place. That's how we're designed, and it is nothing to feel bad about. And you really can't get rid of it either. All you can do is be aware of it so that when it's happening, you can address it and grow your capacity for more joy. So the rogue code, becoming a ghost code buster, trying to figure that stuff out. Last night talking about how when you are just you can't fuck it up. You will follow your human design type strategy and authority when you allow yourself to be who you want to be and do what you want to do. And the things you have to do that you don't love doing, you figure out a way to outsource that, trade for them, or adjust your attitude about doing them and remember why you are doing those things. Okay, being aware means you get to be in control. So those two things, come into a third thing of the recent one-on-one live channelings I've been offering from Being the Gang. In the past, before last week, you couldn't get a reading from Being the Gang in person. I wasn't familiar enough with them. I didn't know how well it would work in person. I wasn't sure if I could have someone else's energy in my energy field and trust that I could get clarity. But then what happened is they started coming through in human design sessions or coaching sessions. So I was like, well, I guess I can do it because I am doing it. So people's dead folk, their beloved dead show up, their guides show up, and Being the Gang will show up. And so I've started offering that as a live reading. We jump on Zoom together and we go with whoever has shown up for you, or I channel what Being the Gang have for you. You can ask questions, things like that. Right now, since it's an introductory offer, it's $55 for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes is plenty. So anyway, that's on, it's not on the website. It's michellewolf.as.me/channel. Remember, there's 2 L's and 2 F's. 2 L's in Michelle, 2 F's in Wolf. Okay, anyway, if you want in on that. But what's happening with that is my mediumship skills and my channeling skills just get stronger and stronger because I practice on a daily basis. The mediumship's been around since I was 18. I just didn't do anything with it till the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so. But how that all fits together is what's happening is my daily practice of meditation and, sometimes I pull a card, I say a rosary, I just do my morning thing. And what's happening is channeling is starting to flow through. And so this morning, so after yesterday's podcast, which to be honest, I don't think that's one of the best podcast episodes I've ever made. Hopefully there's some nuggets in there that are that are beneficial to somebody. But I started asking this question the other day. There's a difference in praying to God or source or whatever you want to call it versus allowing God to pray through you. Praying to something you think is outside of yourself, or letting the energy of prayer come through your body. That sentence struck me really hard. I wrote it down in my journal. It comes from the co-create. Oh man, I can't believe I just went out of my head. The woman's name is Alida, Alida Birch. I think it's Burch, but it might be like the tree, Birch. And it's co-creating shamanism, something or other. I'm sure if you go on the Google, you can find it. Anyway, she was talking about how, and Being the Gang have been talking about now for months and months, about how we have to stop this approach to prayer from a begging parent-child dynamic, right? A pleading, a supplication, asking an external, what we are treating like an external authority figure. Please bring me a job. Please bring me the money. Please bring me the whatever. That we have to stop doing that. That doesn't work. That is a system we've been taught it doesn't work. It's made up. Right? You cannot be separate from God. You can't be separate from Source. You can't be separated from any of it. It's impossible. It's what gives you, what animates your physical body. If you've ever seen a dead body, it's very, very clear that whatever that is eternal is gone. If it's a newly dead person, you can get a sense of the animating presence still being there with the body or it nearby. and that's a different episode, but it's gone out of the body. Okay. And even still, we're not separate from it, because let's take it all the way down to like the tiniest energetic level where everything is one, right? So stay with me here. We're going to slide on the continuum of the tiniest micro, everything is one, to we are having individual experiences. So we have to respect both. I hope this is going to come out correctly. So this shift of standing steady in your power as a colleague, as an equal to, I'm not saying we're equal to all that is. I'm saying we need to take a position of authority and not ask for things, beg for things, plead for things, but order things the same way as you would in a restaurant. Definitely not a new analogy. Abraham Hicks uses it. I haven't heard her use it in a while, but it's not a new analogy that when you go to a restaurant, you order a food and you let it go. You don't sit there and obsess about it. You don't jump back in the kitchen and try, elbow the chef out of the way and make it yourself. You put in your order. You expect it's going to be there in it. Whatever, hopefully the sooner the better if you're hungry, but you entertain yourself while you're waiting. You have a conversation with who you're with, you play on your phone, you stare into space, you read a book, whatever. You fill your time while you're waiting, but you don't beg the waitress, oh please bring me a cheeseburger. Oh my God, will please bring me some cheese fries. You don't do that. You just say, I'll have the cheese fries, and maybe you say please. Hopefully you do, because, being a food server is probably one of the worst jobs out there. It's really hard. So that's been the recurrent message, and I've posted several things from Being the Gang about that, about ownership and commanding energy instead of approaching it like a child to a parent or an employee to a boss, where you want to ask for something but you're not sure if you even deserve it, and you're wobbly in your energy, and nothing changes when we're doing that, because it can't, because the energy is off. It's not that your guides are standing around saying, well, we're not going to give you the cookie until you ask for it correctly. They can't. It can't come to you, because your energy is such it's too offset. It's too out of alignment. It's like trying to take a car from third gear to fourth gear without pushing in the clutch. It's like square peg, round hole. You get it? Like it cannot work, because it's too out of alignment. It's a complete mismatch. So this morning they were saying, and I posted this on Facebook and Instagram, that same thing with the sun. We don't go beg the sun to shine on us. We don't wake up every morning and cross our fingers and hope to God the sun gives us the vitamin D we need. No, we know where the sun is. And if it's out and we want sun, we go outside and we, in a short sleeve shirt or whatever, and we sit in the sun and we expose our skin to the sun where the sun is. We aren't begging and pleading and saying please and thank you and hoping if we stand on one foot and rotate 3 times under the full moon that the sun will give us sunlight. The sun is always shining. Source is always there. The energy is always available. Wealth is always there. Love is always there. Health is always there. But are we exposing ourselves to the stream? Are we making ourselves available to have the sun shine on us, to experience the love that we are right now? The love that you're looking for is not in another person. And thank God, right? Because another person can be there today and gone tomorrow, and then you're cast out in the cold, loveless. But no, the love that you have in yourself, and then you have a partner who takes care of his side of the equation or her side of the equation or their side of the equation, and accesses their own source of love, then those two beings of love share an experience, and it's mind-boggling and wonderful, and there's no weird dependency, and there's no games to be played, because you've made yourself available to the only source of unconditional love there is, and that is source energy. That's the energy of the universe itself. But you have to make yourself available for it. And if you're begging and pleading, you're not available for it. You can't be, because that's disempowered victim energy. And you can't be in disempowered victim energy and keep up with the fast, dynamic, complex, beautiful energy of love. It's very fast moving. And if you if you were able to connect to it in that disempowered place, it would blow you over. It would wreck your life. You literally can't hook up to it. It's moving faster than you are. Victim energy, wah wah, I'm a baby, give me a bottle energy. I'm making fun of myself. So, if you hear me picking on you, I'm picking on me too. So, we can't act like babies anymore. If you want to be available to wealth, then it's your job to bring yourself up to speed. What does that look like? Daily reading, going places where wealth is, joining new groups that talk about wealth, that teach you about wealth, that have wealth, putting yourself where the energy of wealth is, making yourself available to it, which what will then happen is all the reasons you're not already wealthy will come up, right? We've had this discussion 100 million times, because this is the way it goes. You want your energy up, you have to raise it up yourself. And then when you raise it up yourself, you've got some scrambling to do to keep up with it. You have to quickly get the logs out of the river so your river can flow and join in, like merging in traffic, or like a creek branch joining a river. The creek branch might be bubbling slowly along, but when it hits the big river, things speed up. And your tendency will want to be to go back to the slow-moving river. And that's fine. But that won't get you what you want. It won't get you in the fast-moving energy of wealth, health, and love. Health requires that your body is taken care of. You cannot build muscle laying on the couch. I'm sorry. I wish it was true. If I could make that true, let me tell you I would. But you can't. You can't build a bicep sitting on your butt. Ain't gonna happen. It can't. It literally can't happen. Same thing. You're not going to find your way forward if you're begging and pleading and groveling on the floor, waiting for God or your guides or an angel or something to come swoop you up and save the day. Ooh, it's hot in my car. I'm going to have to open the door. I don't know how that's going to affect the sound, but whatever. Okay, so what came through this morning is there's no need. I'm reading to you from my journal, so it's probably going to be a little choppy, and you can take what I'm saying and spring off of it and think your own thoughts and see what this brings to you. If anything, it might be a total mismatch. So if I know I can change any situation, there's no need for despair or whining. If something happens and I know I'm capable of fixing it, well, I just fix it. I don't whine and cry about it. I don't ask God to please help me find the ghost code that's turning the links red and making the margins wrong on a half a dozen blog posts. No, I know that I will figure it out. I don't know right off the top of my head how to fix that one, but I know I will figure it out. I know I have people I can ask for help tomorrow, not today. Today's a day off, and it's somebody's birthday, so I'm not going to interrupt and do work on today, but I'll figure it out. I'll find the answer. I'll find someone to help me find the answer. It will get fixed. If you treated your life that way, you would approach it with a completely different energy. More of as like, so one of the lovely women I work with said, I'm so sorry this is taking this much time. And I was like, oh, I don't mind it. It's like a puzzle. It's like a mystery. I don't mind it. Yeah, periodically it's frustrating when something like this happens, but it's like, where's the code? Well, let's find it. Okay, I found it. I see where it's wrong, but where is it where I can change it? You know, it's like a little mystery. Following a breadcrumb trail of margins that are set at a 20 when they should be set at a 0, you know? So when things go wrong, you have a flat tire, your car blows up, you don't have enough money, our tendency is to fall directly into infancy, right? Scream, cry, throw a fit, get mad. Why does this always happen to me? I just got my tax return. Now the car blew up. This was my favorite one. That actually doesn't happen anymore. But used to be when I would get money, almost immediately within hours or days, something would blow up. Or something would blow up and then I'd get money the next day and be like, fuck. Now I have to put it on the broken car. You know, so we don't do that when we have confidence. We'll figure it out. We don't look at our snags and snafus and say, oh, I wonder where the missing code is. I wonder where the code has rewritten itself. I wonder where a gremlin has gotten in here and scrambled the code that now things aren't working. And we problem solve. You know, the energy of problem solving, approaching things as a mystery to figure out, knowing that there is help available, and you ask for help, and you try this, you try that, you try this, you try that, and eventually it gets figured out and it gets fixed, and then you go on till the next problem shows up, which it will, because oops, sorry about that. I think I just scrambled my microphone. So okay, if you know you can change any situation, there's no need for despair. You just problem solve it. When we don't understand we have the power to influence and improve situation X, we defer, consult, ask, beg, pray, plead. I have that hyphenated, pray hyphen plead. Doing that, nothing changes because it cannot. When we own the power of influence and use it to command change, is when things change. There is a hierarchy here and there's not. In one way, we are commanding the forces around us to help us fix the problem. Not fix the problem for us, but to help us fix our own problems. We enlist help as equals, as partners, as colleagues. Hey, can you help me? Hand me the wrench, you know. Hey, can you help me figure out where this code problem is? I've found this, I've done this, I've tried this. Now, what ideas do you have? That is way different than collapsing on the ground and begging for help to fix it for you. So, even this idea, some of you are moving into this because it kept coming up, or it came up in a couple of the readings I did this week. Some of you are absolutely required to step into your power here, and nothing is going to work until you do. You're not allowed to collapse anymore. You're not allowed to ask your guides without doing everything you can do alongside with them. You're not allowed to beg and plead and come from victim energy and come from somebody save me, I'm a damsel in distress energy. It's not going to work. And in fact, things are going to rapidly get worse for you until you step into this power. Not everybody's at this point. That's fine. I'm talking about those of you who are at this point, know you're at this point, and are still not taking the actions that will make life better for you, and asking your colleagues to help you along the way. Okay, so in a sense, there's a hierarchy internally where you have to be the one to say, you know, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna get on my knees and energetically and think that I don't have any power here. I do. I have all the power here. I have all the power of influence over my own life. And only I have the power of influence over my own life, because I get to choose when I identify a trauma and then what I do with it. Once you know it's there, you're done for. Like, you can't go back to that state of ignorance, because you know you have traumas, and you know they show up. You know that sometimes the links turn red and you have to figure out what's driving that. And when you don't, when you just say, oh, take this from me, bring me a miracle, let me win the lottery, instead of, you know what I mean? Like, I hope this is coming across. It's the same difference as command voice, and I believe there's a previous podcast episode or two about that, but if there isn't, you can go on Google and put in my name, Michelle Wolf, and this title, Find Your Non-Negotiable Voice, and it should bring up the blog post off my thatmichellewolf.com website. If you don't find it on Google, usually it will come right up, but it's on the blog page of my website. It might be a couple of pages back, but you'll find it. And it talks a lot about command voice and command energy. You know you have the skills to fix it. You need a little help. You expect that it's going to be fixed. You expect that you are going to resolve it. It might take a little time. You may have to ask more than one person for help, but you're going to fix it. Everything can be approached like that. When you have the confidence that you can fix it. So how do you get the confidence if you don't have it right now? You have to look back at your life and notice the times where you put your foot down and things changed. Sometimes people will say, well, I threw a big tantrum and it changed. Or I surrendered and it changed. You put your foot down. You said enough is enough. You weren't having it anymore. And it changed. It's that unity, that consolidation of your energy, that declaration that this is going to change. In surrender, you're totally accepting the way it is, and that will shift it too. But you're all, in a sense, you're also declaring that it's going to change. But who's changing? You are. You're stopping the fight. You have changed. You have commanded yourself to put down the struggle. Other times people will get mad and they're commanding the energies around them to fucking shift it already. And they're so consolidated in their energy that it changes. It's not that you had to get mad. It's not that you had to fall down and surrender. It's that you had to consolidate. When you got mad, you were unified. When you gave up completely, 100% down to the bone, real surrender, you were unified. You were consolidated. You were an arrow pointing straight toward a goal of something has to shift here. I command it to. I know if I go outside and there are no clouds in the sky, that the sun is going to shine down on me 100%. I don't have to give it a second thought. And we can approach these things in the same way with some practice. All right, let's see what else we got here. It is your birthright. So other times that we're wobbly, it's because we don't think we have the right to ask, because we've been raised to be perennial children. We need to defer our authority to our teachers, our parents, our teachers, our peer group. Then we have to defer our authority to our employers, our government, our God, the kind of artificial caricature of a God we're raised with. It's deferring authority from birth. So part of the practice is recognizing that's not how it's supposed to be, that you were raised to never stand in your own power, that you were raised to conform, even as you scream, I'm never going to conform. You conform with the group that says we're not going to conform. You're still conforming. You're still giving your power away. This is a consolidated, non-negotiable command voice energy that I'm going to say what's going to happen here, and it's going to happen. Someone, a guide, an ancestor, someone in your beloved dead, someone in your team of visible is always available to answer your prayer when you approach it in this way. Just like you are answering people's prayers as God prays through you, as the energy of the universe goes through you, and you're in the right place at the right time to give somebody $20 that desperately needs it. Or you're in the right place at the right time to hold the door open for someone, to help unload groceries to someone who's clearly injured, to step in and be the answer to someone's spoken or unspoken prayer. Consolidated energy. When you order from the universe in the same energy space as you order something at a restaurant, when you know unequivocally that you have a right to ask for and receive anything you want, there's no wobble in that. If someone got between you and someone you love and tried to hurt them, you would instantly be in non-negotiable energy in intervening in that situation, especially if it's your child or a pet. Imagine if somebody came up and tried to snatch your dog out of your hands, or kick them or something, tried to do something horrible to your kid, and you were standing right there. Do you think you'd be like, oh, please, God, come and help, stop the bad person? No, you would be going bodies with that person. You would be grabbing your kid and running, or grabbing your dog and running, or fighting. You would be doing something. You would be consolidated in, this is not going to happen while I'm standing here. This ain't happening on my watch. I won't allow it. You have to get to the point, as the energy moves faster and faster, to not allow yourself to wallow in childhood, in disempowered energy, in victim thinking, whatever you want to call it. Well, let me say that a little bit differently. If you want to continue going forward, if you want to increase wealth, health, love, all the things that you're trying to build, then you're going to have to do it differently, and the time is now. There's no more time for contemplation and, well, maybe I'll stand up for myself. Well, maybe I'll get this ancestor who's left me with a pattern of poverty to back off someday. Boundaries are required. You might have to learn some. Learning the art of saying the sacred no, you might have to practice that. You might need to take a class. You might need to do some trauma work. But if you want to go forward, you need to get on it. If you want money, make yourself available to it. Train yourself to match the energy of it. It's moving faster than you are. You've got to come up to speed. So when you're doing mediumship, we're slow energy because we're still embodied, yeah? So we have to bring our energy up, and spirit has to bring their energy down a little bit, and we kind of meet in the middle, and hopefully we're able to hear them clearly and bring through what they're trying to say. It's not perfect, right? That's why any decent medium will never promise that, Grandma Edna's going to show up and talk to you. It might be, Uncle Frank or somebody else might show up because they actually have what you need. And Grandma Edna doesn't have it that day. So you have to be flexible. But Okay, so let me go back to my notes here. So why wouldn't you simply say, I desire this, bring it to me? No favor is being done for you. It is the way of it. It is the mechanics of it. Manners are not required when you're functioning in right relationship with energy. We say please and thank you because that's a human thing. Appreciation and gratitude are completely different energies. You can appreciate your guides. That's more empowered energy than gratitude. Gratitude is saying, I can't get this for myself. I can't do it for myself. Appreciation is saying, I'm doing what I can do for myself, and thank you for doing the things that I am not able to do for myself at this time. I appreciate you. It's different. You go where the love is. There's an owl hooting. I hope you can hear it. It's pretty loud on this end. If you want love, make yourself available. If you want money, make yourself available. If you want health, make yourself available to the energy of health. And then when you get the idea that you should go to the gym, you get your ass up and you go to the gym. When a thought crosses your mind that you want to eat cheese fries, you say, yeah, we're not doing that. Because we need to build our health, and those two things don't go together. Or let me say, not in the volume that I would eat those cheese fries. You can't eat the volume of cheese fries that I'm capable of eating and also have health. It's not that you can't ever eat cheese fries. Okay? So this is a gear shift. This is taking your place at the council table. There's a blog post on that too, all the way back from 2016. Shit, maybe 2015. I can't remember. You can find that one on the website too. It's take your seat at the. Are you ready to take your seat at the council table? Are you ready to stand up and be a colleague or the CEO of your Team Invisible who's standing there ready to help you, and they can't help you because you're asking, but the energy you're asking from is so far out of whack they can't help you. You're not up to speed. So I'll say again, how do you get up to speed if you're not up to speed now? Increase your awareness, and you increase your awareness through meditation, whether that's walking meditation. I hear if you're having an ADHD day or you live that way, you might need to walk, but you can walk in silence. You might need to crochet or knit, but do it in silence so that the inspiration can come to you, so that you can make those connections of, oh, I say I want health, but I'm doing this other thing and I'm not taking a walk. So where's the ghost code that is derailing my program? What's this about? How do I match that speed? So instead of saying, bring me wealth, or how do I, please save me, I don't have any money, it's a much more powerful place or experience to say, please help me match the energy of money. Do you feel that? Oh, please bring me the lottery. Please bring me money. Please help me make the house payment. Versus, I know that money energy exists. Help me get up to speed with it. Not please help me get up to speed with it. Help me get up to speed with it. Show me what is I'm not seeing, that if I saw it, everything would change. Help me help myself. Not help me do it for me. I'm a big baby that can't do anything. I don't have any power. No, show me how to do it. It would be real easy for me every time I have a computer problem to just have it fixed. I have that kind of support where I can just say, this is broken. When you have a chance, Please fix it. But I'm not going to learn anything that way. I need to try to do it myself first. And then if I can't, I don't say, hey, fix this. I say, fix this and show me how you fixed it so that I'm stronger next time. So I have a little more layer of skill the next time some random hover color turns itself red. Because I do it that way, when the button text turned itself brown, I knew how to go turn it back to white. It took me like 2 minutes. It's the same. Don't ask to be saved. Ask to be taught. Ask to learn how to make yourself available to the sun. How to make yourself available to wealth. So you're going to your guides and to God or whoever you go to, and you're saying, I am standing in my power as best I can. Now help me be more powerful. Help me be more consolidated. Teach me how to do this. Show me how to feel this. Bring to me an experience of wealth so that I have something to attune to. Do you feel the difference? It's a difference in words that automatically gives you a difference in the energy. But you're doing it yourself because you have become responsible. You have stopped thinking that there's something outside of you that's going to fix all this. There isn't. There never was. And there never will be. That's not the point of being here. Let's see if there's anything else in here. And by the way, command voice is not mean. It's not aggressive. It is confidence. You could call it confidence voice. You're so confident that if you go outside in a short sleeve shirt, you're going to get sun on your arms. You're that confident because it's a fucking fact. If you're matching the energy of wealth, it's a fucking fact that your money's going to change. And then you're going to freak out about it, and you're going to have some work to do, and you're going to have to help your nervous system handle it, and then it's going to be fine, and you're going to have a new set point until you do it all over again. And that's what we spend our life doing. Stretching, growing, adapting. Stretching, growing, getting uncomfortable, adapting, training, on and on, creating. This isn't about get it done and then sit on your ass the rest of your life doing nothing. Nobody does that and lives very long. That life force moving through you is creative. And if you don't create with it, it's going to tear you up. It has to go somewhere. Be in control of where it goes. Step into your power. Own your birthright. That you have every right to be in the sun. To let the sun shine on you. You have every right to have wealth. You have every right to say, teach me the energy of health. Teach me how to stand in it. Teach me how to get used to being fast-moving energy when I have been, land tortoise energy. I've been beer and Cheeto energy, and now I want to be, athletic energy. That's a bit of a leap, but you can do it. It's going to take some time, and that's where the help is. The help is you in helping you match the stream, but you have to do it. You have to do the work. It will never be done for you. It cannot. It literally cannot. It's not they won't do it for you because you've got to learn a lesson. It's not they won't do it for you because you've been a bad person. It's they literally cannot. It's a mismatch. They can't reach you. Your beloved dead can't reach you. If the door is shut, they're right there. You cannot hear them because the door is not open. And you don't have to open the door. This is just another example of how it literally cannot happen. It's not that you're being punished. It's not that God hates you. It's not that you're doing anything wrong or that you need to go learn something else or sign up for another course. It's just your energies. It's a match or it isn't. It's that simple. But to make that match, we have to understand that we have the right to make the match. And then we have to stop being childlike about it, victim-y about it, whiny about it. You can't say you want one thing, do another, and then, you're just tripping yourself over and over again. So that means showing up every day, 7 days a week, to do whatever works for you, to give yourself time and space for your team Invisible to start communicating with you, for you to see the signs, for you to be in the synchronicities, for you to look down on the ground right as your foot is stepping on $136, which I've done. More than once, I have needed cash, gotten myself consolidated, taken a walk, and stepped right on top of money. I'm not even kidding. But what I have been very inconsistent about is doing what it takes to stay unified, to stay consolidated, to remember that a dog will never sit for the person in the household that has the wobbly energy. They will sit every time for the trainer because the trainer is consolidated in her energy. Kids behave better for one parent than another because the parent who has the consolidated energy, they feel safe with, and they'll obey. I'm not talking about beating a kid till they obey. They know how to push the wobbly parent, and then the wobbly parent can't ever understand why the kids won't behave, and and the other parent, they don't give any guff to at all. Consolidated energy. Say what you mean what you say, take the appropriate actions, listen for your guidance, and when it comes, follow it. Most psychic readings are me just validating what people already know and they're not doing. I'm not free of that either. I'm just a little bit better about showing up for myself every single day, 7 days a week. I don't view it as a task. I view it as my life because my life depends on it. My growth depends on me showing up every day. Every day. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I've talked almost an hour. I'm going to stop there. So if you want a live reading now from Be in the Gang instead of a recorded reading, I'm combining mediumship and channeling. This is a commercial, so if you need to go ahead and go. Think less, think less, feel more. See you later. If you want to stick around for the commercial. That's this part. It's $55 right now. Of course, that price is going to go up. This is an intro price because those of you who follow me, I always give a discounted price when I start something new. So 30 minutes, we jump on Zoom together. I will give you the choice of telling you what came through before I started the Zoom call. I'll tell you who is around you if there is someone there that wants to talk to you. And Be in the Gang will have information for you. And there's no guarantee of what order that's going to be in or what you're going to get or who's going to show up for you. So come to the call with an open mind and a willing heart, and you will get something. You might not get Grandma Edna, but you will get something. Information always comes through. Always. And it may be that you're not open to information, but that's extremely rare. I've actually only had that happen one time in all these years. So, again, that's not on the website. If you follow me on Facebook, it's somewhere in my Facebook feed, or you can just go to michellewolf.as.me/channel. And everything's right there for you. pick a time and we'll meet and we'll see what happens. So, and then if you want, go look for that blog post. It's on the website or Google. And start showing up for yourself every day. Ask to be shown where you're still functioning from victim thinking, because holy shit, is it insidious. It's pervasive and insidious, and it's shadowy, and it will escape your consciousness. So you could start there and say, not, please, would you show me where I'm being a victim, but show me where I'm still coming from this disempowered energy. Show me where I'm still thinking God is a daddy or a mommy that's going to just fix the problem for me. Show me where I'm still out of alignment. You can use the question I love from Karen Curry Parker. What needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness so that I can fill in the blank. Although these days, I think I've said a few times that I don't even do a fill in the blank. I just write every night, what needs to be healed, released, and brought to my awareness. Nope, that doesn't sound right. What needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness. I knew there was 4 components to it. And then just show me what needs to be healed, released, aligned, and brought to my awareness. And then let it come to you, but make the space for it to come to you. And then go from there. We'll see what happens. All right. I'm going to wrap this up until we talk again, of course. Think less, feel more. And we'll talk to you later.